Han So-yoon is a high school girl whose life changed after a car accident. Since that day, she has been living with anterograde amnesia. Every morning when she wakes up, her memory resets to the day of the accident. She cannot remember anything that happened the day before. To cope with her condition, So-yoon writes everything down in journals and notes. Every detail of her life is carefully recorded so she can read it again the next day and understand what has happened. Only her parents, her teachers, and her best friend know about her condition. This is Even If This Love Disappears Tonight. One morning, while riding the bus to school with her classmates, the vehicle suddenly stops. So-yoon almost falls, but a boy named Kim Jae-won instinctively grabs her hair to keep her from hitting the ground. It saves her, but it also creates a painfully awkward moment. Jae-won quickly apologizes for pulling her hair. At school, Jae-won notices that his seatmate, Dong-sik, has just been bullied by a group of troublemakers. When he asks why Dong-sik keeps tolerating it, Dong-sik refuses to explain because he does not want to cause more problems. Frustrated, Jae-won confronts the bullies in their classroom and tells them to stop. Instead of taking him seriously, they brush him off and shift their attention to So-yoon, who has just turned down another guy asking her out. So-yoon is known as one of the most popular girls in school. She is beautiful, smart, and admired by many, but she always rejects anyone who tries to get close to her. The reason is simple. With her condition, she believes a romantic relationship would only bring complications and pain. Seeing that So-yoon never dates anyone, one of the bullies, Tae-hoon, challenges Jae-won to ask her out. If Jae-won succeeds, he and Dong-sik will be left alone. If he fails, Jae-won must become their errand boy until graduation. At first, Jae-won refuses. He is not popular, he has almost no dating experience, and aside from that brief bus incident, he has never even spoken properly to So-yoon. Just seeing her from afar makes his heart race. He knows his chances are close to zero, but under constant pressure, he finally agrees. In front of everyone, Jae-won gathers his courage and asks So-yoon out. Tae-hoon and his friends record the moment, expecting to capture his humiliation. They are convinced she will reject him immediately. Instead, to everyone's shock, So-yoon agrees. Jae-won is completely stunned. He never expected her to say yes. Later, when the classroom is empty, So-yoon approaches Jae-won first. She asks for his phone number and suggests they start dating. Still surprised, Jae-won decides to be honest. He admits that asking her out was originally meant to protect his friend from being bullied. So-yoon does not get angry. Instead, she compliments him for being a good friend. Then she asks him if he truly wants to date her. She makes it clear that she does not like him romantically. She simply wants to try something different, to date someone who is not popular. But before they begin, she sets 3 rules. First, they only talk when necessary, and Jae-won is not allowed to ask too many questions unless she starts the conversation. Second, there can be no interaction at school before classes end. Third, and most important, neither of them is allowed to truly fall in love. As their unusual relationship begins, So-yoon carefully writes down everything about Jae-won. His favorite food, his hobbies, even his allergies. She wants to know the small details so their time together never feels dull. Jae-won finds it strange that she goes to such lengths when she claims she does not like him. But for So-yoon, even a relationship without love should still be enjoyable. On the bus, Jae-won shares his favorite song with her. When she asks about his favorite sport, he says he does not have one. Not because he is lazy, but because he hates sweating. So-yoon laughs at his honesty. She also notes that while he cares deeply about cleanliness, he does not actually have a fear of germs. After only one day of dating, Jae-won is already feeling nervous. That night, he keeps staring at the messages and photos So-yoon sends him, unsure how someone like her could suddenly be part of his life. Once their relationship becomes public, everything changes for him at school. He becomes unexpectedly popular. No one dares to bully him anymore, and Dong-sik is finally left alone. Tae-hoon even keeps his promise and steps in to defend Dong-sik when students from another class try to harass him. Not long after that, So-yoon's best friend, Jimin, approaches Jae-won. She questions why he seems distant from So-yoon despite being her boyfriend. Jimin even suggests that he should break up with her, but Jae-won refuses. He insists that he wants to understand So-yoon better and continue the relationship. After school, So-yoon takes Jae-won to an arcade where they spend the afternoon playing games and sharing lunch. Later that night, she carefully writes everything about their day into her journal, making sure not to forget a single detail. As time passes, Jimin begins to notice how sincere Jae-won is. Slowly, she realizes he is not playing with So-yun's feelings. Day by day, their relationship grows quietly and naturally. So-yun starts to feel comfortable around him. They spend more time together, and she faithfully records every happy moment so she can remember it the next day. One afternoon, Jaewon sees Taehoon being badly beaten by a group of students. Without hesitation, he jumps in to help. So-yun and Jimin quickly record what is happening and threaten to report it to the teachers. Afterward, Jaewon treats Taehoon's injuries. During that moment, he notices something unexpected. Taehoon keeps glancing toward Jimin, clearly having feelings for her. When Jimin tells Taehoon that he can come to her if anyone bothers him again, since she has evidence recorded, it becomes even more obvious. At home, Jaewon barely speaks to his father, Sang-yeon. Ever since his mother passed away 5 years ago, things have not been the same. Sang-yeon used to work as a freelance photographer and ran a small studio known for its colorful glass windows. But after losing his wife, he fell into deep grief. He stopped working and shut himself off from everyone. Seeing this, Jaewon gently encourages his father to move forward, to start working again, and to find joy in life once more. He wants his father to stop drowning in sadness. One day, Jaewon takes So-yun on a picnic by the sea. She is impressed when she finds out he prepared the lunch himself. He explains that after his mother died, he had to take care of household chores, so cooking became natural for him. The quiet boy who once struggled to speak now begins to open up. Around So-yun, he feels comfortable. Without even realizing it, he shares more about himself than he ever has before, and she listens with genuine interest. Little by little, Jaewon starts to understand something he has been trying to ignore. Despite the rule they both agreed on, he is slowly falling in love with her. On the way home one day, So-yun accidentally falls asleep while leaning on Jaewon's shoulder. It feels like a peaceful moment, but when she wakes up, everything changes. She suddenly panics and looks at Jaewon as if she has never seen him before. Without hesitation, she rushes off the bus, and Jaewon runs after her. She is confused and frightened. She does not recognize him, and she has no idea where she is. She insists that she cannot remember anything. Jaewon is left completely stunned, trying to understand what is happening. In her panic, So-yun runs back onto the bus and calls Jimin. Then she opens the notes on her phone and finds detailed information about her boyfriend, Kim Jae-won, along with the 3 rules he must follow. Realizing that she truly has no memory of him, she breaks down in tears. After calming down, So-yun finally explains her condition to Jaewon. She tells him about her memory disorder and apologizes, admitting that she used him for selfish reasons. But instead of being angry, Jaewon surprises her. He tells her that he does not mind being used. He does not want their relationship to change. He even asks her not to write down the serious conversation they are having, hoping that their story can continue just as before. The next day, Jaewon meets Jimin, who already knows everything. She asks him to keep So-yun's condition a secret from everyone else. When Jaewon says he only wants So-yun to fill her journal with happy memories, Jimin finally understands how sincere he truly is. Not long after, Jaewon plans to take So-yun somewhere special, but Jimin and Taehoon insist on tagging along. The 4 of them go to an aquarium to see penguins, only to discover there are none. Later, Jaewon takes So-yun to the beach so they can spend some time alone. They laugh and enjoy the sunset together. During that quiet moment, it is revealed that So-yun has never been able to tie her own shoelaces. Without hesitation, Jaewon kneels down and ties them for her. The following day, Jaewon and Taehoon surprise the girls by showing up in penguin costumes. It turns out to be Taehoon's idea, an obvious attempt to impress Jimin. Jaewon looks embarrassed when wearing the costume, but So-yun cannot stop laughing. She takes photos, wanting to capture every second. Even Jimin, who was initially annoyed with Taehoon, softens when she sees how happy So-yun is. The 4 of them take pictures together, and that night, So-yun carefully writes about the joyful day in her journal. Later, when So-yun and her friends visit Jaewon's father's photo studio, Jimin immediately recognizes Sang-yeon as a famous photographer. She is actually a big fan and follows him on social media. She wonders why he rarely posts anything these days. Sang-yeon simply says he has been busy and thanks her for appreciating his work. That evening, Sang-yeon seems quietly happy. His son now has friends and even a beautiful and graceful girlfriend like So-yoon. Still, he gently reminds Jae-won not to exhaust himself, since pushing too hard could affect his health. The next day, Jimin tells Jae-won something that deeply worries him. Lately, So-yoon has been afraid to sleep. She stays up late almost every night because she does not want to forget the moments she shares with him. As a result, she looks pale and exhausted from lack of rest. Realizing this, Jae-won tries to stay strong while quietly researching more about memory disorders and how the brain works. One day, he shares something important with So-yoon. He explains the concept of procedural memory, the kind of memory stored in the body rather than the mind. Even with amnesia, a person can still remember how to do certain things, like riding a bicycle, because the body holds onto those skills. Learning this gives So-yoon a new sense of hope. She has always been talented at drawing, so she decides to reopen her old sketchbook, something she has not touched in a long time. Slowly, she begins drawing again. As days pass, she and Jae-won spend more and more time together, and their relationship grows closer. One evening, Jae-won takes So-yoon to watch a fireworks festival. Under the bright lights in the sky, they finally admit that they have broken their third rule. They have fallen in love. But instead of pure happiness, there is also sadness. So-yoon knows that no matter how precious this moment is, she will forget it. Even worse, she will forget Jae-won, the only boy she truly loves. Sometime later, So-yoon is seen living her life as usual, still struggling with her memory condition. But something is different now. Jae-won is no longer by her side. She spends more time with Jimin, and sometimes with Tae-hoon. Yet none of them ever mention Jae-won. Even so, So-yoon keeps sketching his face over and over again. She asks Jimin about him, confused, because she cannot remember him at all. Jimin can only stand there in silence when her best friend asks about Jae-won. It is then revealed that sometime earlier, Jae-won had met Jimin privately to talk about his health. He was born with a weak heart and had to undergo regular treatment while carefully protecting his condition. That was the real reason he avoided physical education classes. It was never about disliking sweat. His heart simply could not handle it. Jae-won confessed that his condition was getting worse and that he could collapse at any time. Knowing this, he asked Jimin to look after So-yoon. More than anything, he wanted her to feel happy every single day. Not long after, So-yoon receives a phone call from Jimin with devastating news. Jae-won has passed away. It's past. When So-yoon arrives, Jimin and Tae-hoon are already at his funeral, paying their final respects. The news hits her hard. Even without her memories, she feels an overwhelming sadness. Honoring Jae-won's last request, Jimin makes the painful decision to erase everything about him from So-yoon's journal. It is not easy, but she cannot bear to watch her best friend suffer for the rest of her life over someone who is no longer there. 기억 속에 점점 멀어져 알 수 없는 거리. As time goes on, So-yoon slowly begins to recover from her memory disorder. Her condition improves little by little, but there is still one thing she struggles with. She cannot fully remember Jae-won, even though she keeps sketching his face over and over again. Jimin watches quietly as her best friend fills pages with drawings of the same boy. Eventually, it is revealed that Jimin has kept all of So-yoon's old journals about Jae-won. Carrying the weight of guilt, she finally returns them and apologizes for hiding the truth all this time. Through those journals, So-yoon discovers something she never knew. She and Jae-won had actually met before everything began, at a hospital while they were both waiting for their test results. During that brief encounter, So-yoon wrote Jae-won's name on a small piece of paper. That was the real reason she agreed to date him. Even though she does not remember that first meeting, she had kept the note, which meant somewhere deep inside she already knew him. After learning the full story, So-yoon visits Jae-won's father. Sang-yeon hands her the belongings Jae-won left behind. Overwhelmed with emotion, So-yoon breaks down in front of him. She apologizes because she cannot even remember the son who gave her such precious memories. Sang-yeon gently comforts her. He explains that everyone's memories fade with time, no matter their condition. But feelings are different. The emotions that take root in the heart never truly disappear. That is why she feels such deep sadness, even without clear memories of Jae-won. In the end, So-yoon makes a decision. She chooses to move forward and continue living her life. She revisits the places she once went with Jae-won, trying to reconnect with the happiness they shared there. Even though he is gone, she remains determined to heal. She wants to remember him little by little. not just as a fading memory, but as the one person who chose to stay in her life and accept her exactly as she was. More than anything, she wants to hold on to the love they once shared, believing that even if memories disappear, love itself never truly does. So the moral of the story is, if you have amnesia, a weak heart, and a boyfriend in a penguin costume, just back up your love life like it is homework due tomorrow.